It's kind of late. It's like 5 o'clock in the early evening, and I've got my coat on. I have no idea how I'm going to take this to 10 minutes, but I will make an attempt to, because I said I wanted to. So I'll do some push-ups here and there, and I'll probably do a lot of talking, just like with the weightlifting videos. That'll probably be a lot of talking as well, because it's late, man. I wouldn't train this late. It'd be a lot more helpful. Here you go. It'd be a lot more helpful for me. Um, it'd be a lot easier if I just made these. If I came much earlier in the morning compared to in the afternoon, honestly. But I'll make an effort. I'll make an effort to train. Here goes. I want to go shopping after this. Finally, get myself some red onions for the first time. Hey, get myself some bell peppers. Yeah, get myself some spinach, some cheese, some other stuff. I don't even remember, man. But yeah, I'm gonna be getting myself quite a bit of stuff. No curry. I'm gonna get myself some ingredients for a stew, like plum tomatoes or whatever tomatoes they have in the supermarkets, and we'll see what I could do. Get some red onions, some brown onions too. I can get some carrots as well if I want, but yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. Anyway, I've got to carry on warming up. All right, I'm gonna just do some push-ups, take it easy on myself, because I know it's late, so I don't want to really physically exert myself. I'd be better off just filming these in the morning, honestly, when I'd have a lot more energy, because right now sometimes I'd actually be in bed. Oh, right. Right, I've come back from the gym and I have a couple of things to say here and there. When I was doing the push-ups, I felt my left chest working more than my right. Could be because my left pec is slightly weaker than my right, or maybe I'm pushing more on my left side than my right side. I don't really know. Right now in my head, my motives are to just get it to the 10-minute mark, to keep on track with me doing 10-minute videos. I wonder if that's me being dishonest with this sort of video making in a sense, because I'd be making it not really to review how the session went deeply, but just trying to get it to the 10-minute mark. I'm gonna have to be careful with that, because I do want to really, I want to genuinely focus on this, on these videos. I do want them to be genuine rather than just trying to get them to the 10-minute mark. Although it's the minimum limit, and that can help me. I can use that as help. I don't want it to be the main thing I think about, because that makes it the breeding grounds for just putting in minimum effort of just having 10 minutes to show, regardless of whether it's 10 minutes of exercise footage or 10 minutes of talking. And that is something I want to think about. And I'm saying this not to just make this video longer, but because it's what's on the mind right now. Anyway, I didn't do any weighted push-ups or arch push-ups at all. It was late, so I just wanted to get the session. I just wanted to do my push-ups, just my bodyweight push-ups, and that was enough for me at the time. Get it over and done with. Makes it sound, I sound like I don't even want to do it. I do want to train, but just not at that time. I don't think that's the time for me to train. I'd much rather do it in the morning to start my day off with as like an anchor, a structure, and then from there, high energy levels throughout the rest of the day. I prefer that rather than doing it late and then coming back home, maybe not wanting to cook in that. I'd much rather get it done early in the morning. So I think I'll do that from now on, because I didn't do as much as I could have done if I did it in the morning, early in the morning. Oh, also, speaking of, I woke up late, so that did not help. I woke up, I was in bed and not asleep from around 11 to 6:30. I was up watching porn. I watched porn for the first time in less than 2.5 years. Well, I was on a porn website for the first time in 2.5 years. But I want to actually get rid of thinking about streaks and that. Like, oh, I haven't watched porn for this long. I don't want that anymore. I think I could be setting myself up for failure. Watching it again. I felt so much shame watching those sorts of videos years back. But I don't need to feel ashamed for not going on a porn site for less than 2.5 years. I had to undo that, and I'm having to undo destructively criticizing myself. I can now make that relevant to this daily log. If I'm talking down on myself, what are the odds that I'm really gonna take things to a higher level and really get far with not only my training but just my life in general? I can't do that by saying I feel ashamed by what I do, which is implied by the fact that I think that I would feel shame. I feel shame from watching porn. I can't. It's not healthy. I can feel ashamed of what I do, but that's not mentally healthy. So I would have not done it for such a long time, but then when I do it, it's just negative self-talk over and over and over and over again, and not allowing myself to show self-love and actually appreciate how I've responded, rather than the fact that I went back, even though I wouldn't want to go back rationally. That's life sometimes. You do things that you don't want to do, rationally speaking. Sometimes that's a part of life. But me feeling shame undermined the fact that I've now become more wary of the sort of sexually implicit videos that I'd watch on YouTube, like the grow your glutes workouts, all the try on hauls and that. Like, they're genuinely, like, some are like half naked women on YouTube. The sort of things that you can watch on YouTube is like, you can watch real murders on YouTube. You might even be able to watch sexual videos on YouTube, like completely naked on YouTube. I've seen that before. But yeah, I don't have to feel ashamed, because I don't think I could have responded in any healthier way. A couple of years back, I didn't realize, I don't think I realized as much as I do now with what could have been, what I could have been thinking and doing, that meant that I get to this point of watching that stuff, like listening to rap lyrics talking about I fucked this bitch and I fucked this bitch, and maybe even females talking about sex on radio songs and that, in the gym, even in the gym. They'd censor saying dick and that, but I think there's a Nicki Minaj like tune going on about F-R-E-A-K or something like that, like a remix of Hammer You Can't Touch This. Like, sex is, it sells. That's what one of the rappers was saying in an interview. Sex sells. But is it just that, or is it sex and lust selling? Because it looked like in those sorts of sexually implicit videos, especially like try-on hauls of half-naked women, like, it looks like they have a look of lust on their face, preying on both men and women in a prey-predator sort of sense, I think. And even in the porn video, like, it looked like she'd had a look of lust on her face rather than like romance or love. No, none of that. And just for the sake of, just for money as well. I'd actually argue that saying these sorts of words like whore, bitch, slag, they may actually have some feelings of lust attached to those sort of words, like, oh yeah, fuck that bitch. But ever since I've started going out of my way to say, no, I'm saying those sorts of words are not okay, I've started to notice that I think even subconsciously I've now at least not as lustful as I once was. And I could tell because when I walk around the street, I don't seemingly involuntarily look at women anymore. I used to when I was in the gym, when a woman would come in, for example, but I'm not doing that anymore. It's not really an instinct for me to look. It's not something I'd even do. I feel unhappy that I'd do that. I'd glance involuntarily at a woman in the gym, for example. And I think that me doing that genuinely could have been because of underlying feelings of lust there, because of all the lyrics talking about I fuck this bitch, I fuck that bitch, from both males saying it and women making sex references in songs as well. Even on radio. Doesn't matter that it's censored. It's still happening. Yeah. Me no longer using those words like bitch and that is, I feel physical relief, honestly. That I can take a heavy sigh, a freeing one, knowing that I see females as humans and humans only, not crossing any lines of saying they're a bitch, they're a cow, they're a donkey, they look like a camel, or anything like that. I wouldn't say the 3 after the first one, but sometimes if I feel unhappy about something a woman said or done, I might not immediately say that, but that was a boundary that I would cross and wouldn't even see as a boundary to cross. Like, that was acceptable to me a while ago, but now it no longer is. And after working through how I responded to making solutions to not watch porn again, like, I really am changing, really am growing in a way I want, thank goodness. I would listen to like rap videos talking about that sort of stuff. As I've said, no more. The sexually implicit content, no more, because that was a part of why I got to that point anyway. Poor sleep routine as well. I've got a solution to improve that too. Like, I have so many solutions to improve my life that I didn't once have before watching porn, but then I feel ashamed even though I've come up with major improvements to further progress in my life. I don't need to. Anyway, I'm done. Let's see what I get up to tomorrow. Peace. Apologies for completely going off track. It's just what's on the mind. I might make a serious video on it. Like, really going deep into it, like make it maybe well over an hour long if I feel the need to, but that's it for now. I need to work, maybe I just need to work through those sorts of things, like little bit by bit, just like how I have today. Even though it's not related to the daily log at all, I'm leaving it in because negative self-talk does affect performance. Anyway, I'm gone. Let's see what I get up to tomorrow. Peace. Thank goodness I'm no longer using those words anymore. And thank goodness I'm seeing females as humans and humans only, not calling them cows or anything like that. That's awful. All that dehumanization and all that degrading, having no problem calling a female a hoe and that. Oh, no more, man, no more. Thank goodness.